Hi, thank you so much for stopping by to listen to my tip number 6 in my series called Ripples of Love. And I'm hoping that they will bring ripples of love into your life when you choose to engage and practice them. So tonight, tip number 6 is called Courageous Compassion. And there's a lot of practices and a lot of invitations out there right now to step into compassion and practicing compassion and self-compassion. And some people know what it is and some people don't. So I'm hoping that this just is like a little catalyst to ignite your curiosity around self-compassion, because it's a beautiful energy of love to practice with, and it can affect your life and how you experience your life in magical ways. So let me ask you a question. So when you think of things that happen in your life that you don't feel so great about, what's your first thought? Do you think, well, I don't deserve that went for that to go well. I mean, the fact that it didn't go well, it's pretty much in line with who I am. I don't have good luck, and life really isn't for me, and I'm not that good of a person. Do you think of yourself as a good person naturally, or do you think of yourself as a bad person? It sounds like a pretty basic question, and people would probably normally respond, well, of course I don't think of myself as a bad person. But you'd be surprised when you look underneath how many people do think of themselves as bad people that really don't deserve, for whatever reason, the good things in life, or to be regarded as a good person. And that affects how they treat other people as well. And this feeling of being unworthy and this feeling of not being a good person, not regarding themselves as a good person, can come from how your parents were with you. Maybe one person in your life, and a favorite aunt or uncle, said, you're really a bad kid. And for some reason it stuck in your head. Or you had a string of bad judgment when you were young, and you made mistakes, and the consequences have stayed with you, and it's kind of like the story you've told yourself. Or you've gone into the world and taken risks and had failures, and all you can see is that you've had failures. Not that you've learned a lot, or not that you were really brave in getting out there, but that you're a failure. These kinds of perspectives come from holding yourself as unworthy, not enough, and a bad person, basically. And there are some people who have a lot of health risks, not health risks, I'm sorry. They have health challenges, and maybe they were born with them, or maybe they developed them, in their later years. But sometimes when you talk to them, you sense this underlying sadness. And what you'll find out is that there's this state of being in them that they're upset. They're angry, or they're disappointed that they have these health issues. And the thing is, when you have that kind of feeling, you're angry with yourself. You're angry or disappointed with yourself. And that kind of energy blocks you from having a sense of being a good person, from having a sense of being a person worthy of having a good life. And so these are some of the barriers that you find when you look behind what stops someone from seeing themselves as good. Maybe they were born into a family where they had disabled siblings and they weren't disabled. So there was a sense of that they lucked out getting a healthy body, but they were made to feel so guilty that their other siblings didn't. So they weren't allowed to feel good about themselves. There's a whole list of ways that we as human beings, it's a human condition, how we view our situations. So what I'm saying is that this practice of seeing yourself as bad, or considering yourself bad, and then feeling bad that you're bad, that you feel bad, that you see yourself as bad, makes you feel bad. So the badness just kind of reinforces itself. And that's the place to start. All begins with self-compassion. It all begins with the awareness that there's a struggle inside of us, to let ourselves own and see and embrace and accept our goodness. So there's the practice. And when we do that, we can accept ourselves, we can start to love ourselves. The courage comes in to have an awareness of the struggle when it shows up in our thoughts, in our feelings, how we treat other people, if we hear ourselves being, coming from our pain. When that happens, have an awareness and be with the pain. Don't run from it. Don't deny it. Don't cover it up, but be with the pain. And then just love yourself right there. And this practice, there's a lot of different meditations out there and ways to practice this. There's a lot of resources. Look it up on the internet, or come and visit me at my website, www.christineleon.com. And I'd be happy to work with you through this. It is a practice. It is a muscle to build. And when you do this, your life will change in a beautiful way where you will see the world differently and you will be able to understand the power that you have in compassion, self-compassion, courageous compassion. Again, if you want more information about me or working with me and you have wounds that you want to heal and you want to start liberating yourself, check me out at www.christineleoncoaching.com. And there's still some seats left in my intensive. If you would like to heal in 2019 some of the hard things that you're trying to heal, check me out on my website. And meanwhile, have a beautiful evening. Look for opportunities to practice compassion. Check it out. See what's there for you. Start by being aware and being compassionate with yourself. All right, have a beautiful evening, and I'll see you tomorrow for tip number 7. I wish you nothing but love and a beautiful evening. Bye-bye.